Hey everyone, Max here, and today in my lab I've got Engl Ironball Special Edition, and it's an evil one. You'll find out why somewhere towards the end of this video, so keep watching. First of all, why is it called Special Edition? Well, because there is another iron ball, the standard one so to speak, E606, which was invented or born a few years before the Special Edition. And even though from the sound perspective they are very close to one another, or almost identical, feature-wise, Special Edition has lots of new nice things the standard iron ball doesn't. This amp has 2 channels, a built-in power soak or a load box so you can use it without a cabinet connected to it, an effects loop, and unlike it was with the standard iron ball, here you can control it right from the front panel, master volume boost, and a built-in reverb. And new features that were not present in the standard iron ball are the noise gate, a built-in delay, and of course the most interesting part is the impulse response loader, or cabinet simulation based on impulse responses. And it speaks MIDI, probably better than you and I. Inside it has 4 12AX7 tubes, 2 EL84, which provide 20 watt of power, and its weight is 7 kilos, which we'll of course measure more precisely later in this video. In the US you will find it for $1,450 at Sweetwater, and in Europe at Tomalin you can get it for 1,199, okay, for 1,200 euros. That is including VAT. Of course, if you are in the UK or somewhere else outside of the EU, prices may vary, so I'll give you all the links below so you can check them at any time. Also, if you purchase anything through my links, I will receive a small commission, and that way you can greatly support my channel at no additional costs to you. So thank you for doing this. This is going to be a very short unboxing. I have a feeling this amp used to be a demo unit, so there isn't much inside of the box. I found a USB cable, which you'll need to upload your impulses into the amp. And there was an amp itself, and nothing else. No power cable, no manual, nothing. With a new amp you'll get all those things, don't worry about that. Let's take a close look. On the front we've got guitar input, 2 gain controls for clean and lead channels, bass, middle, treble. Lead channel has a presence control, clean channel doesn't, and instead of having 2 separate volume controls for clean and lead channels, we only have 1 here, but that's enough to set the right balance between channels. And of course, there's a master volume. And here's the most magical part, the micro switches, which return to their original positions once you release them. We've got gain boost for both clean and lead channels. You can switch between channels here, turn on or off the effects loop, noise gate, delay, reverb, master volume boost, and I had no clue what it was when I played through this amp the very first time, and a mysterious store switch. All settings you dial using the switches can be stored into a preset and then recalled from, let's say, a MIDI foot switch. And these are the power and standby switches with an LED, so it's obvious you can see it when the amp is on. The handle on top of the amp can be pulled out or pushed in if you want to install something else, let's say another amp here. On the sides you'll find Engl logo in black, yeah, black on black, but it actually looks really good on a white amp, which they no longer produce, unfortunately. I wish this one was white. On the bottom we've got rubber feet, and theoretically when you put this amp on top of a cabinet, they must be taller than the cabinet's handle. It works like that with my cabinet. There's some more magic happening on the back side. Let's begin here. We've got the power connector with a built-in fuse, a traditional foot switch input, and a MIDI input, which can also take the special Engl foot controller and feed phantom power into it. A USB connector to hook it up to your computer and manage impulse responses, effects loop, send and return, impulse selector, of which 3 are preloaded, they're listed here, and the other 5 slots can be used for your own impulses, a headphones output with a level control, a balanced output, an XLR connector with a ground lift switch, and 2 speaker outputs. Here we've got delay controls, mix, time and feedback. This one controls the amount of reverb and noise gate threshold. The impulse response module can be placed before or after the power amp section. And last but not least, built-in load or power soak that lets you go down to 5, 1 watt, or completely silent, so you don't need a cabinet connected to it. You can use your headphones or a balanced output. Let's put the iron ball on a scale. And its weight is 6.9 kilos. Or if you want it in pounds, I'm gonna have to do this again. And this much in pounds. 15.2, which is not much for a tube amp. And here are the dimensions. The width, the height, that is including rubber feet but without the handle on top, which sticks out from this much to this much. And here's the depth. And speaking of size, here's how it compares to other amps in my studio. Uploading your own IRs is easy. It needs to be connected to a computer with the supplied USB cable and turned on. Look at those glowing tubes. It will be recognized by your computer, and now you can navigate to that folder or to that disk, which is a disk K in my case, and copy your IRs over. They will be sorted alphabetically and can now be accessed in slots 4 to 8 using the IR selector on the back of the amp. To make sure your impulses are compatible with the amp, you can use a converter at the Ironball's product page to convert your impulses into the right format. Let's void the warranty, and as always, I must ask you not to try this at home unless you really know what you're doing. I take apart a lot of things, but this was the disassembly I really enjoyed. I want you guys to see this, it's really worth it. First off, the backplate comes off with a couple of things mounted on it. There's a pot assembly on the left, and on the right you can see those resistors responsible for dissipating those 20 watts coming from the output transformer, which is here, and it's a real deal, built in Germany, and I love the fact that everything is labeled. Who does that nowadays? The enclosure is one piece of, I think, steel bent together, pretty heavy and brutal. Tubes are Engl branded, and each tube has its own kind of enclosure or a screen, again, very well thought through. For 12x7 tubes, or as some call them in Europe, ECC83, some have red LEDs under them, which looks great in the dark, and two EL84 tubes in the power section. I of course have the European 230 volts version. And here's what's inside. Everything is so organized here. And labeled. Bias adjustment, fuses right where you can see them. And this is the board responsible for the effects and the cabinet simulation. And it is built around, I would say, traditional for this kind of devices STM32 chip. This amp is put together beautifully, and I'll say it once again, don't try to repeat what you've just seen at home. That was clean channel. Now let's check how much gain we can get out of the lead channel and turn some other knobs, just see what happens. Here's how gain boost works for both channels. The noise gate can only be activated for the lead channel, and it turns off automatically when you go back to clean. Master volume boost stays on when switching between channels until it is explicitly turned off. Let's check built-in effects. Here's the delay, and the LED shows you the tempo it is set to. With turning up the feedback knob on the back of the amp, you can get infinite repeats. The reverb has only one knob, it stays on while switching channels, and sounds like this. Not happy with the built-in reverb? Well, there are so many things you can use inside the effects loop. Here's what built-in impulses sound like, and right now I have nothing in the fourth slot, so that will be completely dry. Power Soak really helps to drop the volume to bedroom levels or lower. Well, this video wouldn't be complete without checking this amp with a lower tuned guitar, like a baritone. For a brief moment I had both Ironball Standard and Special Edition here in my lab, and of course I couldn't stop myself from comparing the two, from putting them face to face. And I really like how Engl tweaked the clean channel in the special edition. It is cleaner and more transparent, while lit channels are pretty much identical. Alright, that's it for today. It was Engl Ironball Special Edition. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm looking forward to see you in one of my next videos someday soon. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, goodbye everybody.